First of all, on behalf of my family and others, I'd like to thank everybody for coming and honoring my father, because he truly, as you truly touched his life, and I know he's touched yours, he truly touched my father's life. He talked about me all, he had a smile on his face all the time, so you truly did that to my father, so I thank you for that. I just have a couple of things I wanted to say, and I don't want to keep it long, because my dad was not one to sit around very long, we know that. He'd always be on the run, so I'm going to say just a few things that I think exemplify my father. When I was younger, like most individuals, I had a paper route, and the people around 2nd Avenue would know my father-in-law, especially my father, because I would wake up on Saturday morning and look outside, and the bundle of papers would not be there. And I went to bed, I was only about 10, 11, so I went to bed not too late, and my dad would be home after I went to bed from working in the paper the night before. And when I went outside, the papers weren't there, so I wondered, and I thought, oh, Dad must be up again, and yes, he was up again. If the papers had to be started by 6, he had them done by 6. And that's what type of guy he was. And then he'd bring us home donuts. And he was just a great provider. And during the weekend, when the ladies around the street would see me, they'd wonder where the regular paper boy was. And I think they were upset that I was the they loved my father. He was just an unbelievable provider. Next short story I have is when my dad, and I can't remember exactly the year, but he fell down the steps out back and he had broken his ankle. And, he was really bummed about that, because all he could think about was getting his work done and getting to the games and doing the stories. And I said, Dad, I'm there for you, and this is great. I can hold his tape recorder. This is wonderful. So I got to go with him, and I did anyway, but I got to go hold his recorder, and I thought that was just wonderful. And just to see him talk to coaches, and I saw Coach Irwin here today, and he just absolutely loved that. I mean, it didn't matter. He did pit games, he did Steeler games, but he loved that. Just to interact with local coaches and athletes, and he just had a passion for what he did. And just to see him communicate with coaches, that was just absolutely wonderful for me. So unfortunately for his broken ankle, it gave me the experience to see a person who truly cared about his profession interact with people. So I thank my father for that. As I grew a little older and moved away, I didn't get to see my father as much, so I would call him on the phone, and we'd talk sports all the time. So in the springtime, I would be talking to him, and he'd say, they're lousy. How lousy? He must mean the Cardinals in springtime. Summer, lousy, Cardinals. In the fall time, it got a little tricky, because you had Pitt, you had the Steelers, you had the Cardinals, so I didn't know who he was talking about when he said they were lousy. He would always ask me, how are you doing? What do you need? He never was one, we were never ones to speak, I love you, but I knew my dad loved me dearly, and I knew my dad loved my brother, and especially my mother. He always used to say, I don't know what I'd do without her. She's, just a wonderful person in her own right, in his family, his brother, sister, and everybody else he absolutely adored. So he showed me by, his communication, he just showed me how much he really cared for people. Without saying it, his actions spoke louder than words. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was he never liked to go on vacation, as you all know. He was never on vacation. That just wasn't him. He'd sit around, smoke a cigar, watch the games. Well, when my aunt and uncle and my other aunt and uncle got them to go to Cape May, that was wonderful for my dad. And I'll never forget this, because he used to talk about that all the time, how much he loved that. That was just so relaxing to him. He had a hard time relaxing. He just did. And I always thought about, he retired, he didn't get to go on vacation, but I truly know now he is in a truly wonderful place where he can vacation forever. That someday, we will see him again and we will be together on vacation. I thought growing up, you'd say in school, people would say, who's your hero, and people like sports people. And I used to think my dad was so cool because he covered sports, and I think my dad was. But as I got older and I understood the person that he is, he could be crusty at times, you know that. He could be a little rough around the edges at times, but he was truly a man, and I think Monsignor said it best, he was a man of integrity. And he was my hero, he is my